Walking keeps the heart alive, but it cannot stop the slow, quiet weakening of muscle, balance, and bone that begins to creep in after 60. For those determined to remain strong, steady, and independent, walking alone is no longer enough. Muscles need resistance. Bones need challenge. And the body, though aged, craves movement that builds, not just maintains. Every day, many older adults take regular walks, only to find their legs growing weaker, their balance slipping, and the effort of everyday life becoming harder. It feels unfair, but there is a solution. When strategic strength training is added to walking, everything changes. Stability returns, confidence rebuilds, and energy begins to rise again. Walking is excellent for circulation, cardiovascular health, and joint mobility. It keeps the engine running. But without targeted strength work, vital muscle groups gradually waste away, especially the ones responsible for getting out of chairs, climbing stairs, catching oneself from a fall, or standing up from the ground. These aren't just convenience muscles. They're the very tools that protect independence. Think of walking as the oil in the machine, but strength training as the steel. Both are needed, but only one can truly rebuild what age threatens to take. Key areas start to decline with age, and walking does very little to preserve them. The front thigh muscles, the quadriceps, and the powerful gluteal muscles in the hips aren't pushed hard enough by walking alone. Balance also fades unless it's trained with deliberate movements that challenge coordination. The upper body, arms, shoulders, chest, and back remain completely untouched by walking. Even bone density, which can be maintained by walking to some extent, will never be rebuilt without resistance. And joint stability, particularly in the knees and hips, depends on surrounding muscle strength, something walking cannot deliver. That's why it becomes so frustrating to feel physically weaker despite being active. But this can be reversed. With just a few focused exercises, done consistently, the body can begin to regain what it's lost. Strength returns, muscle builds, joints stabilize, and the fear of falling begins to fade. One of the best starting points is the goblet squat. It targets the legs, glutes, and core all at once, crucial areas for getting up and down safely and maintaining mobility. Using a weight, a dumbbell, or even a bag of books held at the chest, the movement simply involves sitting back and down with a straight back and then rising up again. The key is not how deep the squat goes, but reaching a point of fatigue. That's when muscles are forced to adapt and grow. Even shallow squats, done properly and consistently, trigger improvements that walking never could. Next is a simple but powerful move for the upper body, the wall press. Standing about a meter from a wall, hands placed slightly below shoulder level, slowly bend the elbows and bring the nose toward the wall, then push back. This strengthens the chest, shoulders, and triceps, muscles used constantly in daily pushing movements like rising from bed or bracing during a fall. The deeper the lean, the harder the challenge. For more resistance, move farther from the wall or use a countertop or chair. For the back of the body, the Romanian deadlift is unmatched. Holding weights in front of the thighs, light dumbbells, cans, or even a broomstick, hinge at the hips while keeping the knees slightly bent and the back flat. Slowly lower the weights while pushing the hips backward until a deep stretch is felt in the hamstrings. Then, return to standing. This move strengthens the entire back chain, glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. These are the engine of movement and posture. Without them, walking becomes unsteady, and getting up from the floor becomes risky. To reinforce posture and upper body pulling strength, the dumbbell row is essential. With one hand braced on a chair or surface, the opposite hand pulls a weight toward the body, squeezing the shoulder blades together. These muscles, rhomboids and lats, are critical for upright posture, shoulder alignment, and everyday pulling actions like opening doors or picking up objects. It's a movement that restores functional strength in an area walking completely ignores. Finally, The loaded heel raise focuses on calf strength, which is vital for balance, propulsion during walking, and stabilizing the ankle. Standing on the edge of a step, lower the heels until a stretch is felt, then push upward onto the toes. This strengthens the calf muscles from a fully extended position, restoring bounce and stability in every step. Adding a backpack or holding a weight increases the benefit as strength improves. These 5 exercises, when rotated daily, cover the major weaknesses walking can't fix. They rebuild strength, restore balance, and bring back a sense of control over the body. Each movement serves a purpose. Each one replaces what age quietly tries to steal, and they require no gym, no machines, just intention and consistency. Aging doesn't mean surrendering strength or independence. The human body remains responsive even after 60, but it needs to be asked to do more than walk. Challenge it wisely, and it will surprise you. These small, deliberate movements aren't just exercises, they're armor against frailty. They are how mobility is preserved, how confidence is restored, and how a strong, capable life continues.